What's going on, everybody? This right here is an update to the Damari Perry story that I covered on my channel back in January when I had to unfortunately tell y'all the sad news about that little boy that was taken out by his own family. His brother, his sister, and his mother, the womb carrier, who was involved with his murder. And, you know, they basically came up with this story that he was taken from some party that the sister went to. Listen, it was just one big lie. But this is a picture right here of his mother. And the update that actually came about 4 days ago is that she had pled not guilty to the murder of her son. But based on what I have read so far, she's not making her case look good for her at all. But I'm going to read the article and you'll see exactly what I mean. The North Chicago woman charged with killing her 6-year-old son, Damari Perry, and hiding his body pled not guilty to all charges on Thursday. Jeremiah Perry, age 20, and Jannie Perry, age 38, both of North Chicago, were indicted on February 2nd by a Lake County jury on more than a dozen charges each. Now, the reason why they didn't mention the sister is, I guess, because she's a minor, or they didn't charge her with anything, even though she's, in my opinion, involved as well. It says, they were jointly indicted on 8 counts of murder, aggravated battery of a child, dismembering of a human body, conspiracy, aggravated domestic battery, concealment of a homicidal death, endangering the life or health of a child, abuse of a corpse, and obstructing justice. Jannie Perry was also indicted on 1 count of failure to report the death or the disappearance of a child under the age of 13. Court records show the woman was scheduled to appear in court on February 7th for an arraignment hearing. Perry did not appear for the hearing, and the arraignment hearing was rescheduled for this past Monday, which she also did not appear for. So this woman had not 1 but 2 hearings that she could have went to. The one that was scheduled in the rescheduling, and she didn't appear at either. This to me just screams to me a whole level of guilt to me. And if y'all remember when I did the original commentary and I played the video or the audio, y'all saw this audio on my channel, she sounded so disoriented. Like, she sounded nonchalant. I said, she doesn't sound like a woman that is upset that her 6-year-old at the time was missing and then later discovered to be dead. She sounded so nonchalant. And I thought, and that was one of the first things that I picked up on. Like I said, I'm a good listener of tone and body language. And her tone to me just spoke like she didn't care. And when it came out, what really came out about it, and what the real story was, and I said, that's why she felt that way. Because she was the one that helped kill her own son. Lake County Sheriff's Office spokesman Christopher Cavelli, who was the Court Security Division's deputy chief, said Perry was temporarily transferred from the jail on February 6th due to medical reasons. She was transferred back to the jail 1 week later on Sunday afternoon, Cavelli said. Jannie Perry appeared on Thursday for her rescheduled arraignment hearing where a judge read her the charges she is facing. The woman entered a not guilty plea to all counts against her, court records show, so she finally ended up going to court. Damari's older brother, Jeremiah Perry, also pled not guilty to all of his charges earlier this month. Prosecutors have indicated that they would seek natural life charges for the 2 defendants if they are convicted. Court records show Jannie Perry is scheduled to appear in court again on March 3rd for a status hearing, while Jeremiah Perry is scheduled to appear in court again on March 4th for a status hearing. Prosecutors have said that Jannie and Jeremiah Perry formulated and enacted a plan to severely punish 6-year-old Damari Perry through prolonged exposure in a cold shower. Lake County Assistant State's Attorney Kyle Doyle said the family of Damari reported that the boy did something that the mother felt needed to be punished for on December 29th. I just want to know, how do people come up with these levels of punishment? Like, what do you watch? Or do you Google how to punish a child? And that's what you came up with. Like, they literally, if y'all didn't know, they put this boy in a cold shower where the shower was literally turned up to the highest level of being cold till you couldn't turn it no more. And he basically froze to death. He basically died of what I'm going to assume is hypothermia. He froze to death. Like, they say he was practically frozen when they found him. The next day, Damari was put in a tub or shower with the cold water on for an extended period of time. Damari vomited and became unresponsive. It was determined the boy was deceased, but no one in the family called 911. The incident occurred at the family's apartment in the 1700 block of Sheridan Road in North Chicago. Doyle said that Jannie Perry and Jeremiah Perry discussed how to dispose of the body and ended up taking it to Indiana. So they crossed state lines. This is just giving a recap of the story in case people are maybe forgot about it or unaware of what happened. But they crossed state lines to dispose of his body. They didn't even dispose of him in the same state. They crossed state lines to do this. They was really trying to cover their tracks. On January 5th, almost a week after Damari's death, the family reported the boy missing. Investigators determined the family's story about Damari going missing in Skokie was completely false. Damari's body was located near an abandoned house in the 700 block of Van Buren Street in Gary, Indiana. The boy was found naked, wrapped in a plastic trash bag, the Lake County, Indiana's coroner office said. He had bruises, an extremely cold core temperature, and partially frozen internal organs, an autopsy found. The coroner's office said Damari also had post-mortem burns. Like I said, I would not be surprised if this little boy was being abused by them way before this. It's just that this time they took it too far and they ended up killing him. That was probably their intent. You know, a lot of people have kids, kids act up. They act out their children, and you discipline in the best way that you can. But this is literally disciplining to death. That's basically what it is. They disciplined him to death. She ain't shit. Neither is his older brother or the sister. And they keep leaving out the sister, and I don't know why. Because, in my opinion, she had a hand in this as well. She's not as innocent as they trying to portray her. Because if y'all look back at the old video that I did about this, she was ingrained in there somehow, some way, but they're constantly leaving her out. But I'm going to see what comes of her arraignment hearing, because they said that's coming up next week. And we'll see what next week, but the week after. And we'll see what comes of that. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this down in the comments. Like, share, subscribe if you have not done so already. Make sure you go and hit that bell to be notified every time I upload a new video or go live.